Okay, so it is January 6th, 2020. Happy New Year. We are starting our busy season this upcoming semester. I'm very excited. Some things that we need to remember to do. The deadline we have this month for January is January 20th, and that is when our rosters are due. So I'm going to show you really quick how to make sure that your rosters are done in just a second. So if you log in to your account, let's go back and I'll go here. So if you're at your dashboard, Samantha also sent us an email over all of this. She sent a PowerPoint over how to do it. So if you go through your email, you Google Miss Samantha's email, she'll have it all set up for there. You'll go to accounts. You can do your roster helper. This is for our office, so it probably won't look the same for you. You'll have all of your students in there. If you haven't put your students in there, now is the time. But we're going to assume that you've already put your students in there. And you're going to notice that these do not say 100%, so I'll click on mine. For it to be 100%, you have to make sure that you put in the address and the year they graduate high school. That's not right. That's all you have to have, and then it'll make it 100%, and then you're then able to select that student and select that if they are only an Ag Ed student or if they have a one-year membership. No. Tell me.
Go back to the accounts tab.
Okay.
Go to your number 6.
Okay.
Select the check boxes.
Oh, perfect. And that's all.
And then click return to the AT. And now if you go to the roster helper,
Samantha's teaching self.
When you remember.
Oh, so you don't ever have to click that? Okay.
If you do the number 6, that's what pulls it onto your roster.
So that you don't ever have to do that again. Okay.
Right.
And if you forget that step, it'll still save from here though, right?
It will.
Okay. But you can
change it here.
Yeah,
but it will not pull on your roster if you change it there.
Okay, perfect.
Like if you do your roster from here, it will not show that you've done a roster.
Okay, so you have to
go through number 6.
Okay, deal. And then you can go and look at it.
Yep.
Do you ever have to click send to ffa.org?
You can.
You can.
I'll be doing it on the 20th, and then again
you'll do it. Okay, perfect. So this is what needs to be done by the 20th. I think that's all for the AUT. I'm pretty sure. That's the only deadline we have for this month as far as on the AUT and reports due to us in the office. This month we'll be meeting with the CDE committees for each of our districts. The Southern District Committee meeting will be Tuesday, January 14th. The Eastern District Committee meeting will be Tuesday, January 21st. The Northwest District CDE meeting will be Tuesday, January 28th. Each of those have been sent out in emails with the details, and the committee chairs are those who are asked to attend. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about your district CDE, then you need to get a hold of your sub-area CDE chair and allow them to bring that information to us. Just to remind you, the World Food Prize is coming up. The papers are due February 10th. You can access that through our website, which is brand new. How exciting. So through here, your activities and conferences, World Food Prize, it's going to take you here, allow you to ask you, how you can participate. Here's what's important this year. If you don't know what's going on, and let me log out real quick so I can show you your side. If you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to get your students started, this is the perfect way. Right here, there's this World Food Prize research resource. It's a mouthful, but when you open it up, it gives your students step-by-step selections of their country, what is the issue at hand that they feel is needing to be met. Also through here, it has questions that help them write their paper. So it's a phenomenal resource. So if you don't know how to get that started, please do so. If you have any more questions, Mr. Gordon Eichelberger is over the World Food Prize, so he'd love to help you with any questions. And everything is the same on the World Food Prize as it was last year. So to register and stuff, you'll just go, well, I'll put the link in my description. The other very important deadline that is this month is January 15th. That is our scholarship application deadline through National FFA. So we looked at that last time. And I told you I just Googled scholarship, or I didn't Google it. I searched for scholarships. And from here, I clicked apply now, which is what your students will do. They will log in.
Valentine's Day.
They will log in.
In there.
It does. After they log in, you can click add new application, or here I've started one. Go to form. Also, so it tells me right here that I am not eligible. But once your student fills out all of their information, so it has, you know, your financial information, how did you hear about it? They'll go through each of these parts, the academic, the resume, essay, and then you save and submit. All of this has to be done by January 15th. Now, it's not something that I would recommend doing in just one day. Excuse me, so I would ask your students to begin working on this now. That gives you, I mean, if you haven't started working on it, you probably should have, but you still have enough time starting back to begin working on it and to get those submitted. January 22nd is when all of the forms are due for that, the supplemental forms that they ask for. But it's very simple, it's all online. Your students will be able to breeze through this. But also remember that on the scholarship page, for anything you ever do, down here says resources. And so they have something, student and parent resources. It's going to take you to the box. And then within here, there's the member scoring rubric, which they can look at and really be able to get as many points possible through this. So they can see what the expectations are, they can hit those marks. It's a really solid resource. And it gives you different tips and tricks. And it also has help for you, the advisor, if there's something that you need to look at to help your student more. Lots of facts and questions, or frequently asked questions that are there. You know, there's great resources. You just have to use them. Don't forget that mini grants are also due at the first of every month. So if you're looking for something for FFA week, which is coming up next month, you should really utilize that. Something that needs to be on your mind but isn't due yet, but will be due on March 1st is your state degree applications. A lot of times, some frequently asked questions on that, and Samantha may help me, is one, your student can't count the same event for different years as different events. So if they go to state for milk quality and products their freshman year, and they go to state again their sophomore, junior, and senior year, that's still just one event.
If it's the same CDE.
If it's the same CDE, but if they change CDEs, then that becomes a different count. But they have to have 5 events above the chapter level to count. So be mindful of that because it's quite a surprise when you get your applications back and you realize, what, they've done it, but doesn't count. So just keep that in mind. Any other frequently ones that get pushed back?
Any conference that the state hosts
Mhm.
is above the chapter level.
Okay.
Even if they attend with their chapter, if it's state convention, ALC, CPC.
Okay, anything that we
Cities.
put on
Right.
counts as anything above the local level. Okay, it doesn't have to be an individual event.
No.
Right, okay. Perfect.
We run into some kids will go to ALC, but it won't pull under their application because
Is it-
they've marked it as a chapter event.
Okay, it's not a chapter
It's not a
event.
chapter event.
It's a state event.
It's a state event.
So if your application does get kicked back, your student's application gets kicked back, please identify those issues. And we'll do our best. If you have questions, you call us, we'll answer them. Along the line of state degrees, proficiencies are also due at the first of that too. And Mr. E has said that if anybody has any questions or needs help with proficiencies or would like for him to come to your chapter, he would love to do that. So he's designated himself as a reach out for that, and that is all him. Want to show y'all, so I talked about it in the last video, but I didn't show you. And I didn't show you a lot of it. So this is the Facebook page that I referred to, the Arkansas Ag Education and FFA Advisors. It's phenomenal. Just this morning, you can see where Carly Bacher has updated the CDE practice contest. One thing that I get so many texts or phone calls about is, when is the CDE contest? When is such and such? Well, here it is. It's all lined out. As soon as we get it, you can see I've done my best to post when I get the information, because I realize that not everybody checks their email, not everybody knows what way is what sometimes, and I know CDE season is kind of a busy time. Just got another CDE contest, so that's exciting. Also, anytime that we get anything, it goes on here. You see where Eric Walker was talking about AYE. Anything, resources are shared. This is what I would like for y'all to see. So we have an update from the foundation, and so let me see if I can. We also have the most amazing foundation page now. So if you haven't liked it, please do so. They keep us up to date on everything that's happening. Mr. Fletcher gave a generous gift. We're working with WellsCo, Arkansas Trucking Association. But the thing that we're most proud of is this. We have been granted $2.5 million to go towards renovation of the Fletcher Leadership Center. It's amazing. It's so good. We're so thankful for Miss Jennifer and all that she does. She's
and other camp projects.
And other camp projects, not just the Fletcher Center. So that's fun. But without Governor Hutchinson and Senator Raper and Senator Malik, we wouldn't have it. So we're very thankful for that. So if you haven't said thank you, I implore you to do so. Let's see what else is on my list. Oh, okay. As ag teachers, our alumni. So the alumni convention is coming up. And this year it is January 17th and 18th. There's a conference agenda, and so you need to RSVP to John Kringle by January 15th if you're planning on coming. One thing that's pretty exciting for me is that if you notice, there's a Tyson tour, so that's exciting. They'll also have a keynote speaker, a collegiate social. There's a few different workshops that you can see down here that will be happening on the second day. And then here are the prices. Oh, can you not see this? Oh, hang on just a second. New share. Boom, share. Can you see it now? Yeah, I'm so good. So what I'm most excited about is the Tyson tour right here, as you can see now. This is the entire agenda. There's also workshops that I was talking about, and there's different, whether it's building your brand, a presenter from Tyson. We also have national FFA, Allie Ellis come in. She's awesome. The poultry industry standpoint. So the prices here are $30 for a couple, $20 for single. What I like, and I think you should take note of, is that it says 12 and under is free. We understand that a lot of our alumni are parents and have children, and we would not like to discourage you from involving them in your lives and bringing them to things. So if it works out, bring them on. They can learn too. Start them young. Screen stop sharing. Oh, whoops. So I mean, that's truthfully, I think, all I have now. Miss Nina, if you would like to give us an update from the National FFA over anything that's coming down the pipe, things that we need to be looking for, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good deal. So I want to reiterate the scholarship deadline on the 15th, because that's 2 weeks earlier than it's been in the past, and it's going to sneak up on everybody really quick. I just also want to point out teachers and parents and kids start freaking about FAFSA information, because I know last year the government shut down the middle of our scholarship process, and it was just a nightmare. Just know that every student does not have to upload their FAFSA. It's only for the ones who think they're eligible for a scholarship that has specific financial need. So they want to look through that document, that resource document you pointed out for parents. There's a list in there of all the different scholarships. They need to read through them and identify the ones they're eligible for. And if one says that they need to upload the FAFSA, then they need to do that. Otherwise, don't. And there's only a handful of those scholarships in there. So I'm hoping that this year people won't stress out near as bad as they did last year over that. I want to congratulate the 3 students from McCrory, County Line, and Lincoln for getting the SAE grants.
Yeah.
So excited. It's becoming more and more competitive every year, but we also add more and more SAE grants each year, because that's our sponsors love giving money directly to kids. So I encourage teachers to continue filling those out every year. The Living Serve grant is currently open for the semester, $1,200 for a semester-long service project. So that deadline is February 1st. So make sure if you're interested in filling those out, you've got that completed by the 1st. And again, that's for the semester-long $1,200. The mini grants, the $400, continue to roll every month. That application is always open. And if you ever have any trouble filling out any of the applications, you can call our staff members and they're happy to help you with that. The TSC Grants for Growing, we've got that again this year. They've altered their timeline, so you can apply between March 2nd and May 1st. Much wider timeline than we've had in the past. They figured out kind of, I guess, what works better for teachers and for their awarding process. So they'll identify over the summer, and then the winners will get their check at the beginning of the school year. So then you've got the 2020, 2021 school year. That seems so weird saying that, to spend that money. You can get up to $5,000. So in that grant application, make sure that you're giving a good, accurate budget. A tip for any grant application is they're looking for sustainability with the grant. So if you're applying for something, be sure in the narratives to explain how it will sustain itself once the money is spent. They're really not into a one and done kind of thing. And then, of course, encourage your community members to go in and buy the emblems during FFA week. That's how this is all funded. The money that's raised at the TSC stores here in Arkansas stays in Arkansas. So just know that you get those community members to go in and buy those emblems during FFA week, that money's going to stay in Arkansas, but you have to apply for it. You can't get it if you don't fill out the application. I always love to tell teachers about free money. So we've still got the Red Brand fencing program. I'm about to go out and buy some fencing right now because I've got to do it. I'm hoping that wherever I buy, that one of my local chapters has actually gotten on the Red Brand fencing program, because they'll get $1 per roll from those dealers that's a rebate to the chapter. You don't have to do anything to get the money. All you got to do is have that local dealer that sells Red Brand fencing sign you up for the program. We continue to have the Zoetis project. The monies, the veterinarian supplies, they'll be tallying how much they spend February 1st through May 5th. The local chapter they identify gets a 1% rebate on every product of Zoetis that local vet spends. So you want to make sure your vets put you on that one. We continue to do the Wix filter program. That's a quarter back on every box top. The top 4 chapters that collect box tops will get an additional $1,000 on top of the money that they got. They'll also get, they're giving $1,000 to the chapter with the highest percentage increase from this year over last year. So make sure that you're taking advantage of these free programs, y'all. I mean, it's free money you're leaving on the table. Culver's continues to be a great sponsor. They're hosting an FFA day at the National Cattlemen's Trade Show. So if you've got students that are going to be there in San Antonio in February, make sure they're aware of that National FFA day at the trade show, and they can get in for free. They've also got their essay contest coming online again this year, February 24th through April 20th. It's already on their website, I believe. In the past 5 years, I think, they've given local chapter, the essay winner, their chapter gets this year $7,500 to go to national convention. So that's free money to take your whole chapter to national convention from a kid who can write a really good essay about, usually it's Thank a Farmer, so it's going to be something along that topic line. I highly encourage you. And you don't have to have Culver's. We don't have Culver's in Arkansas. They don't care. I keep asking every time I run into them, when you bringing Culver's to Arkansas, but they say they're moving south. So I know they showed up in Georgia this last year. So hopefully we'll start getting those in Arkansas soon too. The National FFA Teacher Ambassador application opens February 3rd. It's open for a month. I know Sunny took advantage of it this last year. It's really a great program, a chance to really connect with teachers from all over the country and learn about National FFA resources so you can share it out with your peers. I don't know how many teachers know that you can request a national officer visit. I know when I was teaching, I didn't think I could do that, but you can. And here's the thing, most people invite them for their banquet or something like that. That's perfectly all right. I encourage you to go ahead and fill out a request form, because the last couple of years we've had national officers out for foundation visits, and then those corporate people cancel on them like an hour before. So we hate for those young people to just be sitting around. So what we do is, wherever they are, we call up chapters and go, hey, would you like a national officer to hang out with you for an hour or a few hours or a whole day? I think if somebody had called me that while I was at Searcy, I would have just about wet myself. I'd have been so excited. So I encourage you to fill out that form. If they're already scheduled and they can't make your banquet or whatever, we've at least got you on the list, so that if one day they're in Northwest Arkansas or Southeast Missouri or Texas or whatever, and they get canceled on, we can call you up and say, hey, we've got Colson McCoy who's got a day of free time. Would you like to have him come visit you? And then you could say yes or no. And then they get themselves to you, and you just host them for the day, maybe feed them lunch or whatever. But, it doesn't cost you anything necessarily when something like that happens, unless you just want to take care of them. So fill out a national officer request form. It's on the national officer page on ffa.org. Very easy, simple one-pager, nothing complicated. We sent out updates for national awards, proficiencies, American degrees to state staff back at the first part of December. So I'm sure Sunny's probably going to be disseminating some of that information to you over time. But just a couple of things for proficiencies for 2020, we don't have food science and technology anymore. We don't have home and community development anymore. It's been turned into a service learning proficiency. So it's going to be a little bit different than what you were used to with that home and community development proficiency area. So take a look at those. Their descriptions are on this website. For all of our applications nationally, they are electronic submit. now. There's no more paper copies. Sunny, I don't know how you guys are doing that at the state level, if you're still doing paper copies or you're going to go electronic, or if you've even decided that yet.
I think we're all electronic right now.
Okay. So with going with an all electronic submission for national chapter proficiencies, AgriScience Fair, all of that stuff, we're going to be judging online. So we're cutting our costs by a huge amount by not bringing, 50, 60 people into Indianapolis anymore. But that also opens up the judging pool. So you're going to be seeing this spring instructions on how to become a judge. And it's going to probably be very similar to how we've done the SAE grants. So we'll have a large pool. If everybody judges a few applications, then no one person just gets bogged down with having to read. And if you've ever judged at nationals, you sit there with a stack of applications and your brain is numb 2 days in from reading so many. So hopefully it will level the playing field a little bit. Everybody will get a fair shake, as opposed to the one who got judged first versus the one who got judged last, when you're a giant stack, literally 2 feet tall for livestock proficiencies. So that's one major change, the major change, I suppose. In addition, we've removed the advisor statements because pretty much they're all the same. Everybody writes about how great the kid is. That's not worth a whole lot. So there'll be signatures will still be required, but they will be the electronic signatures like we've done with the CDE waivers. So it'll be an email process. So teachers who haven't been involved in that, who haven't had CDE teams and had to get those waiver signatures, this is going to be a little bit new for you. So you'll want to pay close attention to those instructions about how to do that in the applications. The last thing I got, you may have seen, I think somebody posted on the national listserv this morning. We got information right before the holidays that the National Botanical Gardens has a new greenhouse manual they've put out, completely free online for teachers. And so I kind of perused it a little bit before the holidays, and it looks like pretty good stuff, especially if you're brand new to having a greenhouse. I mean, it's got some good information about facilities and purchasing and those types of things and how to manage it. Plus, if you've already got a greenhouse, it's got some stuff on how do you upgrade it. So tips and tricks for doing that. So that's kind of a neat thing. So that's from the National Botanical Gardens, and it's available at usbc.gov/greenhouse manual. So that's my major tips and updates for today. Thanks for including me. If you've got any questions, you can always call me 501-827-1866, or you can email me at ncrutchfield@ffa.org.
You are phenomenal.
I think you are.
I'm so pumped. You just gave us so much good information. And I'm so excited, and I know that I will be following up on some of these because I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. I need to know more. So it's so exciting. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm excited that our teachers have the opportunity to request national officers. That's awesome. That's so awesome. But perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Nina. I appreciate it. And so I do not have anything else. Mr. Draper, Ms. Samantha? No? Perfect. We are going to end this one, and I hope everyone has a great semester, great start to your semester. We have two contests this month, 2 CDE contests starting this month. We have our January Impact Green Hand Conference, which I'm excited about. So it'll be fun. We're just starting to gear up for the busy time, and I hope everyone has a great day back to school and that this semester is all you ever dreamed for. But in the meantime, if y'all need anything, you can call our office, you can email any of us, and we'd be happy to help. Have a great day. How do I stop?